You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The views expressed by the individuals during this broadcast are their own opinions, and they may not be the same as those of their group or other organizations they may be involved with.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are live here on the Pace Radio Network's YouTube channel, Twitter, as well as on our Facebook pages. I'm Al Graham. Just so everybody knows, Tamara has the night off, and I'm going alone. Hey, but I got two guests, so there'll be three of us involved in the conversation tonight. So I won't be long. I won't be alone for very long. But before I bring my guests in, I want to remind everybody that we have a little contest here at the network, and I'm going to be checking with my guests to see if they've gotten involved in this contest because they're both, have some growing experience. And our contest here on the network is about growing. Actually, it's about growing a cannabis plant and seeing if anybody can guess how much yield, how much cannabis, dried cannabis, that I can get off of this plant. It's a Humber Valley plant. It's from Humber Valley Seeds. Something I got given to me as a clone many moons ago, like 12 years ago. And I had lost the strain, and I was able to get it back this year. A friend of ours, a reefer reporter here on the network, Glenn Prentice, he happened to be in the area. He was coming back from heading by from New Brunswick, and he was in the area. He dropped me off a couple clones. I didn't get the clone actually in the ground until like mid-August. Okay, so this thing didn't go in very big, just a clone, right? And then it has been out there only since, like I said, the middle of August, so it hasn't really had much time to grow. But I can let you know it is growing. It might not look like it in those pictures that I'm about to show you, but it is growing, and it does have buds on it. Okay, so there will be some weight involved in this. It's just, I'm not going to update the pictures because it's not fair to the guys or the ladies who guessed early on in the contest, all of a sudden see buds or whatever of this plant later on. So what you got to do is basically you just got to go to the paceradio.net website. There's like 3 links right there. You can't miss it as you go along. And click on that. You go in, you get some information, you read some rules, which aren't many, and you just fill out a form. Send it right in. I get it here. Keeping track of them all, and we'll see what happens. There's no end date on the contest because I don't know when I'm going to pull the plant. I was looking at it today through the magnifying glass, and there's still white trichomes in there. I'm not seeing very much amber at all. So we'll see what happens. But here's some details on that contest. So there you go. Really easy. Just go to paceradio.net, click on the link there that takes you to the contest. There's some information there for you. And then just go fill out the form. Easy peasy. Nothing hard about it whatsoever. And who knows? You might win some prizes. Some jars or some oil cans or a book. You just never know. So, well, I think that maybe it's time for me to bring our guests into the program. And but before I do that, don't forget, go to paceradio.net, enter that contest. Don't worry, there's lots of other people, and decimal points count. Okay, because obviously there's not going to be pounds coming off this plant. So, all right. Well, at this time, I'd like to introduce our guests. I'd like to welcome Craig McEachern, as well as Wayne Matheson. Good day, Wayne. Craig, how you doing today?
Good. Yourself?
Good. How you doing,
Pretty
Craig?
awesome, Al. Pretty awesome, Al. We're doing good over here, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hey, I'm watching the grass grow.
Well, I'm just getting a little perky with the whole hey, I'm an outdoor grower, right? So
Right.
frosty nights make for frosty buds. Doo.
Oh
So
yes.
pretty stoked.
I know we had a pretty frosty night there just recently, and they're
Yeah.
calling for another frosty night this Friday.
Yeah, I'm all for it, man. Let's push those newts up. Let's go. Let's bring those amber trichromes. I'm excited.
Yeah, I've took a look at a few others, and that, as I mentioned in the intro, that little plant, the trichomes aren't ready yet, and that's how I'm going to determine when it's ready to pull that plant. I'm not going to go by the weather. Hopefully, we're gonna have a shitty day Friday. They're actually mentioning about possibility of some snow.
What?
Hey man, if we get 3 or 4 days of sunny and a high of like 10 or 12, and those buds are still just bouncing back to life, and those fan leaves are bouncing back to life, let's go.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
that, man. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, talking about let's go here. So I've got Wayne Matheson, as you can see, Camel for Lifestyle Shop. He's a supporter and a sponsor here on the network. Looks like he's sharing a doob.
Yep, you betcha.
And above me here, Craig's here, right there above me there.
I'm not sharing my vape pen at the moment, but I mean, vape pen's here. I'm here.
I'm not sharing my halo.
There you go. Hey, everybody.
And Craig used to have a show here on the network, Music and Mary Jane.
Super fun.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah,
I know I enjoyed it. I know that. It was nice sitting on the back deck listening to you. So.
Yeah, I didn't mind it because it was the perfect precursor to NFL Sunday, right? So I would just find something cool, like a topic or an artist that I know, or somebody who was bringing up something new, or was, in some way, shape, or form, involving cannabis.
Correct.
Hey, this time, use it. All right. Hey,
well, now we're going to get into this as the night goes on, but you're bringing cannabis with Wayne through the Camel for Lifestyle Shop, and yourself with the music. And that's going to happen, what, on October 15th?
The 15th, yeah.
All right. We'll get into that. But first, I always have a standard question or a roundabout question for our guests here on the show. And sometimes the answers to it are comical, and sometimes the answers to it are very serious. It's one of those questions that can go either way. So here we go. And some people don't remember, but they can recall something that's close to it. And that is, what was it? When was the first time you ever consumed any cannabis? What was it like? What was the situation like? I see you got to chuckle that away.
Oh, it was definitely in high school for me. I puked the first time.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, Smokers Trail up by the high school, down and behind the corner store. Everybody would go down there. I went down probably every day for about 3 weeks before I actually smoked one. And then,
okay.
I smoked it, started sweating and puked.
So was that during class? Like in between classes?
I would assume it was during class. I don't remember exactly. But
yeah. Okay. Well,
probably during class.
Mine was grade 9. I was the guy sitting in the middle. Craig?
Oh, my first time was, oof. I had a buddy who lived across the road from my public school, and he was like 16, and I was in grade 8, and I was, asking him questions about, well, what's going on in high school? And he's like, well, hey, come on over at lunchtime. I'm gonna smoke a joint with you. I'm like, what's a joint? He's like, oh, come on over at lunchtime. So it was literally right across the road. He lived above the convenience store across from my public school.
How convenient.
Well, okay, so I go, and yeah, I remember just floating down the stairs. Like there must have been 15, 16 stairs, and afterwards I was just floating down the stairs.
Yeah.
I don't mind this at all. I don't mind this at all. This is fine. And then I went to gym, and I'm like just running like I've never run before. Great.
Here's another one from the high school days.
Great day. This is a great day. And I was like, yeah, I did not have a bad experience.
No, I didn't.
I still haven't. I'm still trying to figure out where these bad experiences are, but I can't find it. I'll keep looking.
Keep trying.
I'll try my best. Yeah.
No, I actually smoked some hash inside our pool house we had an outdoor pool, so we had a utility room type thing. But I can't remember what happened after that. But I also know that grade 9, right before typing, it was lunch, right?
I get you.
Yeah, I still use those skills today.
Oh yeah, like a Slim Jim or a Half Moon or something.
Well, we were talking, and I just go to class, and we had a friend that was always pissed off at us. He knew that we were high.
Yeah.
I type. That was when typewriters went click, 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 click.
Oh
and
man.
On them.
They didn't call it. They called it keyboarding. They called it keyboarding back then. Yeah. And I remember. And I'm of the age group where it's like my first year of high school, it was keyboarding, and you had these super massive, ugly typewriters that they weighed a metric ton, and that's all you could hear. It was just like, this must be what industrial music sounds like. I was just like, and then I heard KMFDM a couple years later, and I'm like, yeah, that's keyboarding. I'm kidding. It's just a music joke. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
So, but then computers came along, and it's like,
yeah,
this is unnatural. This feels weird.
No,
like, how do I spam the network a stupid picture of like a spider, I just took the piss out of it. I was also smoking weed at lunch by then anyway. So.
Now, Wayne, you obviously had a bad experience there. You mentioned, was going back to that, trying that again? Were you a little cautious going back, thinking that maybe that was going to happen again? Or you just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna."
No, I just went right in for it, and it was all good. It was all good after that.
Oh man!
I don't know if I just took too big a hit for my first hit or what, but yeah, it was. It definitely did me in.
Well, yeah, and if I could see that too big of a hit, and if you hadn't started smoking tobacco yet, being that big first hit would be something that could. I know when I first started smoking tobacco, which was a lot younger, I was 8.
I was a little younger there.
Now I quit when I was 18. I know I got sick. Got buzzed and got sick.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good buzz.
It was just the once. It was just the once, but the next week I was pretty much selling it. So.
Yeah.
This is so good. You know what I should do? I mean, that's a natural thing.
Yeah,
it's a natural thing.
It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me though. Like I came about it in such a backward way. Like I still laugh about it, you know. Like I talk to folks and I'm like, well, I just ended up with epilepsy, and I thought there's got to be other people with illnesses around here that need some fucking
Yeah.
quality
Now, do you
cannabis.
think,
French, but I mean, that
you know,
was
as
it
you,
for me. And I didn't,
you mentioned, yeah, you have epilepsy now.
yeah.
When
So
were you already dealing with the epilepsy before you started smoking cannabis, or did you start smoking cannabis and then realize that the cannabis was helping you out with the epilepsy?
that's what it was. So when I went down with grand mal seizure, went into a coma. When I came out of the coma, the first thing I did was, okay, what haven't I been doing? Right. So it's the process of elimination instead of the process of like wondering what triggered it. I was like, what haven't I been doing? And I had abstained from using cannabis for like no, not even. I would say in upwards of like 9 months. So I hadn't smoked a joint or anything. And in that time, like my brain receptors were just going off the rails, and my stress level was going off the rails in the opposite way. And so everything just came to a crash and halt. And I went, oof. Okay, the first thing I need to do is call somebody and get some weed, because let's get this on the good foot and figure it out. Because like, I don't need days where I can't walk and talk.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but I came about it backwards. Kind of like what I was saying. And then I needed my medicine and I had no gainful income. So I would just grab like super great weed and like sell it super cheap so that I could afford my meds, and then off we go. But I would only get rid of it to people who were also medicinal patients who needed to afford it their way, not for me to go, oh, you did this. I was just like, what do you need, and how can we make this work?
Right. Right. It sounds like when Wayne mentioned there earlier, he started smoking, and a week later he was selling. It looks like he found out the benefits pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm a late bloomer, man.
Yeah, well, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, even as a kid.
And I've always wanted to help people and just spread joy. So, I mean, like, we came about it in very honest ways. I mean, like,
Yeah. No. How did you two? Now, obviously, like Craig, you and I, we got together years and years and years and years ago, back at the days of the Intergalactic Trading Company.
Yeah.
And so, how did you two meet?
Well, it was before that, actually. So when Wayne had the vendor's booth at the flea market, he was popping by Chills to buy some products to vend at the flea market.
Yeah.
So we met there initially because when I first moved back from Toronto, it was solely because like my life had taken a never-ending downstroke, and I was just like, what am I gonna do? And I just thought, I'm gonna call Dion. Maybe he needs a hand at the bong shop. I don't know. And he'd mentioned it to me because we'd been kind of like doing research and development every other weekend in Toronto, which is what we called the weekend. He'd bring new bonds and pipes, and we'd just fucking smoke a shitload and go to a bar. But it was awesome. Like
That's bongs.
I wasn't complaining, man. Like, no. I mean, and so naturally, 6 months after that, it was kind of like, hey, dude, I kind of need a change of venue. I think I might move to Peterborough. And he said, oh my God, I cannot believe you just called. My salesman just gave me 1 week's notice. Can you come here for Monday? And this was the Tuesday preview. I was like, fucking A, man. Let's fucking do it. Okay, wait a minute. Let me hang up. Let me figure out if I can have a place to live. So I hung up, put another quarter. This is a long time ago. I put a quarter in the payphone, and I went, hi, Mom. Guess what? Yeah, I'm thinking of moving back to Peterborough. Yeah. I'm going to rent the basement, pay you rent, and I'm going to buy a car. But first, I'm going to ride a bike for a while. It's no big deal, whatever. I had amassed immense debt when I was living in Toronto too, because I managed a record store. You don't make a lot of money managing a record store, man.
Yeah.
And I was doing session work. Like I was doing some live gigs, and I was doing some recording sessions with guys that didn't have any money. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
did you meet Wayne through Dion?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Wayne came by to pick up some stuff, and I was just like, hey man, cool. And I think there was a couple times that Wayne came by the shop just to grab stuff on a weekend or whatever, and I was just like, yeah, I marked it down, dude. We'll fucking figure that shit out later, whatever. Like we're not assholes, right? We work in the cannabis community. It's not like stocks and bonds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's not pretend. We're not. It's like, it was just like, this is a community. This is how we work. I don't know any differently, and I don't want to know any differently. Like I'm at the point now where I'm so thankful for, the foibles of my youth, because it allowed me to get to the point where I've learned so much, and I've continued to work in the health care space.
Yes, you are, aren't you?
It's kind of a blessing, man.
Yeah.
It really is. And look at these guys. I got to meet these two guys, man, and we've been friends for over a decade. It's incredible.
Yeah. It's amazing.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. Well, Wayne, as you mentioned, Wayne was vendings at the markets and stuff. That's Wayne, you've been doing that for eons.
Yeah, I've like I said, even as a kid, I had an entrepreneurial spirit. I used to go to the cafeteria at the high school. I'd get cookies and chips and chocolate bars on credit on front in a briefcase, and I'd walk down the smoker's lane, and I'd sell them for twice the amount. I'd go back and pay my bill. Then I'd go over to the store, and I'd buy a carton of cigarettes because the guy that owned the store knew my parents. So I buy a carton of cigarettes. I go back up Smoker's Alley, and I'd sell the cartons. I go back, I pay for that. And it just escalated, and I've always bought and sold stuff, and yeah.
Well, yeah. So yes, you have, haven't you?
So it just kind of, with how much I really, really, really love weed, it was just kind of natural that I kind of fell into that category. And the only reason why I don't sell actual weed now is overregulation, but I do everything else.
You got everything else in that store, don't you? So tell us a bit about the Camel for Lifestyle shop. What all you got in there?
Oh, we have bongs and dongs and shades and blades and piercing studio.
Bongs and dongs.
Bongs and dongs. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I can explain if you need.
Honestly, Cindy fell in love with that hat when we came by and visited you guys. Awesome. And it was kind of like Cindy said, like she was coming to Ontario. I was like, oh, I'll just be your concierge through the whole tour, right? We had a freaking ball. But but as soon as we stopped by the shop and she saw the hat, she's like, how much for this hat? And I'm just like, this is why we get along so well. We have all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that hat is money.
So you sell bongs and dongs.
We had 50 of them. We gave them all away.
Yeah.
I got one. I wear it. Yeah, I wear it. Oh yeah. I've had some comments. I figure a hat is something that can be worn all year, right?
Oh yeah.
A t-shirt gets hidden underneath the hoodie for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's why I wear all my counterculture t-shirts from fall through spring. Like honestly, all my plain shirts are out in the summer, right? But then fall comes out and it's like, all right, who can I piss off with my Buddha saying, dude, you got to let that shit go t-shirt. I wear that nonstop fall through spring, right? Because I'm the dude to buy. So what do you do?
Exactly. Now, Wayne, with the Camel for Lifestyle shop, the days of going to the flea markets, that was basically like, you know, yeah, okay, you started as a young selling your cannabis and your cigarettes and stuff like that to the kids in school, but once you expanded your business to include the bongs and flags and stuff like that, you took a journey. You took a different route. You just didn't open up a business and a store. You started really in the grassroots end of things.
Well, yeah, it started with the protests and a way to fund all the protests and the fight for legalization and all that stuff. And once the legalization was becoming more of a reality, I thought, well, you know, let's get a brick and mortar building out of this and try to make something of this. And we did. And now that legalization is here, to cut a long story short, now that legalization is here, everybody and their dog sells what head shops sell. So the only way, it's adapt or die in this kind of retail environment right now. So we had to adapt. So we switched from a head shop to a lifestyle shop, which really opens us up to a lot of opportunity for what we want to sell, right? So the piercing studio, that was a big part of it because piercing is definitely a lifestyle. We have no talent when it comes to tattooing, so we didn't go down that road. And then the sex toys, obviously, that's a whole lifestyle and culture type thing too. Same with cannabis. So we kept cannabis, and we try to carry a wide range of products that the other stores don't have. We're actually leaning more into a brand name thing, whereas before we used to be kind of whatever's quick and cheap kind of thing, right? So everybody's got that now. So we're going more into brand name. We have all the grow nutrients. We're bringing in munchies, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, I've seen those munchies.
Yeah.
I don't have any munchies right now.
If they just let me open up a vapor lounge, it would be so much easier.
I don't know.
Oh, it would be, wouldn't it? Eh?
I'd open a lounge tomorrow if they'd let me.
I have no idea what you're talking
about. A vapor lounge. What's a vapor lounge, really? Eh?
I have no idea what vapor. I don't know what you're talking about.
They are things that obviously many people would like to see, vapor lounges. And I would like to see vapor lounges that were allowed to sell cannabis in, just like you go to a bar and you could buy a drink, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the early covert ops, it was a really nice thing because you had the menu at the front door, and you had the lounge in the back door. It was lovely, right? I just didn't see any detriment to that. It was so easy, And maybe some people that are listening or watching don't remember back in the day, but I remember back in the day, and I'm super fortunate that I was.
There was at one time there was about 20 lounges in the province. I remember I've been sharing a picture of a list of lounges that we used to have in our brochure.
I remember they were in the magazine. You could literally just tour.
I think there's like 14 in this list that I was sharing recently, and out of those 14, there's only one that's left.
Yeah, and again, regulations.
When you lump it with legalization.
And a lot of them were activist born as well as a way to fund their activism.
Yeah,
totally. And I was kind of mentioning this earlier before we started, but I've gotten to the point in the cannabis world is like I'm comfortable in my spot in it, whereas I never really wanted a government-run store. My goal was for everyone to be able to get cannabis for under $2 a gram. That was my goal. When I started, I was just like, why does anyone pay more than that? Why? And now, as time has gone on, and everyone, we like our, extracts, and we like our concentrates, and we like our, and there's a wealth. Not only is there a wealth of different products, there's a wealth of different consumers now.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because we got these wet behind the ears 55 plus cannabis consumers who had never tried it. And that
Oh,
never occurred to me. That never
yeah,
occurred to
yeah.
me.
Well,
You
see,
know?
I always felt that the people over 55 and the 60-year-olds were always sort of discriminated against when they said, "Oh, the older people don't like cannabis." But through my experiences through Treating Self magazine, from doing the shows, and I'm sure Wayne from doing the vending out in public with the cannabis booth, you would get people who weren't young, but were people of that mature age of 60 years of age or older.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely did. The most fun were the 80, 90-year-old grandparents that would come in, and they're well versed in it from the 60s.
Love that. I used to love that at the shop too. When you would get when you're pushing 70 plus and they're just walking in and they know exactly what they're after. They're just like, well, I've always liked my metal handpipe with my hashish. And you just go, come on.
Oh, come on in. Yeah.
Teach me something. Can you teach me something while we go walk over here? Because
Yeah.
honestly, I've always loved the fact that I can learn, right? Like, I didn't realize that. And as time has gone on, the more listening I do, the more I'm learning. And let's face it, our elders know a crap load more than we.
There's always lots to learn when it comes to cannabis. Well,
Oh,
yeah, doesn't matter how long
yeah.
you've been in here. There's still more to be learned. All right, guys, it's time for us to take a break. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about music. All righty. All right. We'll be talking to Craig and Wayne in about, 3 minutes or so. This is the Pace Radio Show. We are live here on the Pace Radio Network. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
At Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
Pace Radio Network, by patients, for patients, and for those who want to know.
BMA Hydroponics has everything you need to succeed. Visit our hydroponics superstore at 404 Maitland Drive in Belleville, and we'll show you how to grow your own quality cannabis for pennies per gram. We're open Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Thursdays and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 613-967-9888. BMA Hydroponics. It's worth the drive. The only way to go.
Hi folks, Scott from stfattiesday.com here, and we're absolutely stoked to tell you about our brand new program called Pass the Peace Pipe and our partnership with Legacy 420 out of Tyndonega. We are absolutely proud to be partners with these people. They are an amazing group that have helped so many people with their amazing cannabis medicinal products. And we are working together to gather funds to build the first ever Indigenous specific opioid addiction center here in the Bay of Quinte area on Tyndonega land. So we need your help. We need you to repost this video and go to our GoFundMe campaign, because on this October 17th, St. Fatty's Day, we are going to be starting the campaign where we pass the peace pipe from one side of the country to another to unite our country, to gather awareness, but most importantly, funds to build opioid addiction centers across the nation, one build at a time.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net. Hello and welcome back. You're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here on the network's YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook locations. As you can see, I'm joined by my guests, Craig McEachern and Wayne Matheson. For people looking for Tamara, she has the night off and she will return next week. All right, guys, before we get into the music end of things, because Craig's into music, I like music myself too. But Craig, question to you. You notice a couple of our sponsors there going into the break. You recently visited a couple of them?
I sure did. Actually, yeah. Myself and Cindy Howell, we did a bit of a tour. So I know I mentioned earlier we dropped in to visit Wayne at Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. But we also dipped down to see Mike at the front desk of Legacy 420 in Tianjanaga. And that was super fun. We had an absolute howl. I grabbed a couple of, infused pops, and Cindy grabbed a little bit of a little grab bag of treats. And I'm like, oh yeah, snacks by the bonfire, far out. And then, so we came that way, and then we figured we'd visit Wayne. So we dropped in to see Wayne, and then we went down to the Green Mile. So we dropped in there, and on our way out of there, we did a little scenic tour. You got to check out our video. We were just driving down the street, and I'm like, and that's that dispensary. That's that dispensary. That's that dispensary. That's that dispensary. There we go. And we just kind of drove down the street, and I just kind of,
it was fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I ended up playing music all weekend at Sweet Leaf the following weekend. So I got frequent flyer bud buying miles. That was pretty good. And then we went and saw Dr. Buck, actually, and checked out the B&B, which was like super cool. I think we're going to go and make a visit.
I think this would be a really good time to go because of, the plants, right? They're in full bloom.
The sticky icky is in full sticky icky, and I'm feeling
and
like
you saw the picture. You saw the picture during the promo there of the garden that the trailer is in.
Oh, I don't need to see a picture of the garden, Al. I've already cuddled. I whispered sweet nothings into their ears. There might have been some undue caressing of said plants. It was mutually respectful, though. It was totally consensual, but they are very, very sexy plants. I'm not denying that. And it's a great, honestly, it's a cool layout. It's out of the way.
Oh yeah.
You're
not going to hear a car or a truck. You're not going to hear nothing out there.
Yeah, it's totally like peace, solitude. Oh, bud. Yeah. That appeals to me. It's very appealing.
Yeah. Now from there, as you mentioned, you played music. Wayne, you have a store that has some room, and from my understanding, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, October 15th. Craig, you and the band, the Acoustically Hip, are heading over to the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop to play some tunes.
Yeah, they certainly are.
What got that started, Wayne?
Well, first, so over the summer, I was sponsoring some shows at the bar across the road, and I had Craig here lined up to go, but the bar had a fire. Ooh. And so he couldn't do a show there. And then I got thinking, and I said, you know what? COVID and everything, we haven't had a customer appreciation day in like 3 years, right? And since I said, you know what? Let's make something happen here still anyway, and let's do a customer appreciation day. And I'd never considered live entertainment at a customer appreciation day before, but we're gonna do it right in the front window. We're gonna pull some Facebook advertising next week. We're gonna get the local CKOL to do all day Saturday, talking about it happening all day long, the day of. I'm not going to do much pre-advertising for that, but the day of, I'm going to have them nail it hard. And lots of Facebook advertising, and with him right in the front window, hopefully lots of people will stop by.
Yeah. Now you mentioned CKOL. They are a locally based radio station.
Yes,
right
they
out
are.
of Campbellford.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stop in. We're going to be there with the Pace Radio OTR. I don't know how it's going to go over, but
we've never taken any chances before, right, guys? So
yeah. Who knows? It could be a whole muted show.
It could be, or it could be like a backward. Just call it backward karaoke if it gets muted.
Yeah.
So, right. So I'll just really enunciate my words really well in the camera, Al. Okay. And then that's how.
All right. Good stuff.
All right. Just maybe if there's a precursor, I am registered with SOCAN and I have full legal right to perform this music without income basis. Yeah.
Nice.
Just put that out there in case any of these digitized AI bots care. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I may
know it's
looking
true.
for some information later.
I've played in the pool a long time, like in the entertainment pool, and I know nobody wins except for people in suits and high-rise apartments and Ferraris, and that's fine. I don't care. I've never played music to have any of those things. Like a clean Karma Cup T-shirt, hanging out with somebody, and smoking a vape pen is fine with me. I don't need those.
Like I would think, like I know during Music and Mary Jane, you were just dying and wanting to get out there and play some live music. And this summer, you've just been going like crazy, going nonstop. And like Wayne said, you were going to go to the pub, but the fire.
Yeah.
And you're probably used to playing at bars. Have you ever played in a head shop before?
Of course, I've played in a head shop, man. I worked at Pipe Dreams Intergalactic Trading Company. I played every Saturday. I had my acoustic guitar in the back room, man. When it got quiet, I was like, fuck, I got a pretty decent life right now. Ding, ding. Oh, okay. And then by the end of the day, I was out front on the chair out front playing guitar. Because like people go, what the hell's going on? I'm just a dude that plays guitar if you want some bongs and rolling papers.
Right. Yeah.
They're here too. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. And like, honestly, it's Music and Mary Jane, man.
Yeah.
I didn't create this, like, you know the story, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows the story about how cannabis became a controlled substance. And it was because, well, there was too much good music and not enough people buying newspapers.
Yeah. Well,
that's it, right? So
I'm sure there's been lots of hits and huge hits that have been created while cannabis is being consumed.
Well, let's face it. There's that old joke, right, by Bill Hicks. He's like, listen, if you don't like drugs, then take all your rock and roll albums and burn them all.
Yeah.
It's fair,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hendrix. I'll just go Hendrix.
So Wayne, Wayne, being that I consider where your store is in the entertainment district.
I call it the red light district.
Well, yeah, you're right beside the stoplight
of our little teeny tiny town. Yeah, we got one block.
There's the Legion, there's the pub, there's a bar across the street, there's another one down the road. There's probably like 6 places just in your little area.
There's the pot shop, there's the meth dealer.
It's fentanyl now.
It's all whatever it is.
Everyone's cool. we're cool.
I'm sure
It's
most
bad,
places
but
are used to, where there's music, where there's a bar or something established, and you're doing this right in your store. Um, I guess it's people who enjoy the music to come and listen to it
Yeah,
more
exactly.
than sitting around and getting loaded and then staggering home and doing something that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So, yeah, hopefully we have a good turnout. I think we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you will, you should,
Yeah.
I know I'm looking forward to it. I know you've been talking to some people. I know also that right beside you is a cannabis store, a retail store.
And with the time of day it's happening, all the restaurants and everything across the road are all packed. They'll be seeing this happen in the front window and hearing it with the door wide open.
that's
yeah.
gonna be lovely, right? Like the great thing about playing the Tragically Hip, and the great thing about being able to do it for a long time and do it respectfully is that when people hear it, they know. And they don't. Some of them are elderly and they don't actually know the band or the song or anything, but they know. And it's like music is a universal language.
Yeah, it is.
It's really special how it makes that connection. And for me, that's been the blessing of, like you were mentioning, now, like for a few years it was like, I can't play anywhere. And now it's like I'll play on the dock in the middle of a lake. And I've done it so many times this summer, and it's been a absolute because there's just something about boats coming to the shore and people walking for a kilometer or so going, we heard the hip, we came over here. That it's incredible, right? Like, yeah.
You mentioned it. The band's name is Acoustically Hip. You mentioned you play the Tragically Hip, so obviously people can expect to hear some good hip tunes. I don't know. Did you want to mention some of your favorite hip tunes that you like to perform?
Honestly, lately I know I've got like 3 that I can't stop playing. So, 38 years old right now. It matters to me a lot, just because I was reading news articles about how the story was written, and how there was some creative license in it and how it was misinterpreted over the years. So that I love that. Wheat Kings, because David Milgaard. There's been a lot of. I mean, I was just involved in a fundraiser for National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, and it was a special time. And Wheat Kings and the injustices that happened to David Milgaard, and and then I started, revisiting Leonard Peltier. I mean, and it matters, right? And so, like, we can talk all day about that, but that Wheat Kings has been really, really dear to me. And then, actually, City in Color featuring Gord Downey, Sleeping Sickness. That's probably my favorite song to play right now because I get to play it on my own, and I know it's not an ego thing. It's more like I feel closer to it because I'm the only person presenting it. You know what I mean? Like it matters because of all of the emotional ties.
Right.
I love playing.
Now, Wayne, obviously you don't. I'm assuming you don't sing. You can unmute your mic.
Yeah, no, I don't do any singing at all. Not even in the shower.
Yeah. Well, thankfully there's a Wayne, so that there's there you go.
There you go.
That's what we're doing. It's going to be a blast, and Like really, I don't know. We're like, I love the fact that we're having this conversation and we're doing this show at Wayne's shop, because I mean, I was thinking about it while we were on break, and I'm like, collectively, we've probably been, working towards this moment where we can openly talk about cannabis all the damn time with our buddies for like over 37 years collectively.
Yeah.
40. Like, I mean, probably. And now we can do this, right? And then I can come and play at Wayne's shop, and like we can do these shows and we can talk openly about it. I mean, back in the day, we were always hush hush, and we were just trying to underfund things and overgrow the government, kind of occupy a nice little park where we could hand out some J's. And now we can literally give our friends an ounce. Here, buddy.
I do still miss the before, though.
I don't miss any of it, because I've been so fortunate to be a part of it, and that's what I mean. Like, and we're still here, and we're still able to be a part.
Yes,
of it.
yeah,
That's amazing.
Still doing it.
Yeah,
No doubt about that.
No doubt.
No doubt. Now, Wayne, I take it, like I can tell you that the restaurant across the bridge, the Riverview, they try to have bands come and perform, but the residents around there created a stir, like people in the apartment above.
Yeah.
Do you expect any problems with the residents above your store?
I pound the bass pretty heavy in here on a regular basis, and I haven't had any problems as of yet, so I don't think so. Obviously, the cannabis store next door, they don't care. They have our flyer hanging up in the store. They're going to be,
Yes.
They're going to be in and out visiting, checking it out, sending people over. My other neighbors, I probably should talk to them.
I've got a secondary addendum to Al's question.
Yeah.
Do you know your neighbors above your store personally?
Yeah, me.
I know, but see, and that's a great thing. Like, these are inside jokes that I'm glad we're able to share with, like, the internet.
Yeah.
People on the internet. Like, we've been able to kind of like ham it up like this for a long time, and smoke some pretty freaking great weed together. So I love the fact that I'm able to do this, because it's like, quite frankly, pretty natural. I mean, we played Alderville 2 days in a row at Sweetleaf for their Harvest Fest. I mean, not a far-fetched venture. The Tragically Hip have had part ownership in Up Cannabis since 2013. I mean, yeah. So,
just so you know, we have a question from an audience member.
Cool.
All right, it came. I don't know if they're still watching or not, but they want to know, what are we smoking tonight?
Tonight,
logical question. What are we smoking? We're all sitting here with bacon. What's going on?
I have a London Donovan Girl Scout cookies disposable distillate pen. I also had some Sunday Driver I picked up from Sweetleaf, and I had a ready cannabis drink, 10 milligrams from our friends at Legacy 420.
Wayne?
I've got some Jack Hare, my vape here, and some black cherry pie from our sponsors competition.
It's all a big love-in. Like, really, everybody's working.
I've got some Grape Escape rosin. Grew it myself, and helped my friend press it in the rosin, or in the press. Got it already. He pressed away for it, and does a great job. So that's what I've got now. Yeah.
Nice.
That strain, that Grape Escape, I've been growing it just as long as I was growing the Humber Valley. I've had it for 12 years. And
Al, I
got
Al,
rosin out of it. People say the older your cannabis, the weaker it gets. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
you proved that wrong many times.
I've seen that proven wrong. Yeah, a darn many times.
Now,
That reminds me. I can't count how many times I've enjoyed the Great Escape, but it's over a dozen, and I've always enjoyed it. So
I've
there's
always
that.
been, and it's always been hardy when it comes to dealing with the elements. Weather.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I like Blue Dream for that too, and I get a little bit of CBD in there. That's why I love the Blue Dream for me. It's like, because I'm a cheap date, I'll admit it. So, but for me, it's always on the medicinal. So it's like 16% THC and 3.5 CBD is like my get up and go. It's like, I'm good.
I'm good. Now, just so you know, that was from Hemp with the GG. But we've got an answer here from our friend, the Green Irene. She says she's smoking Blue Skies.
Oh, Blue Skies.
Blue Skies. I noticed earlier she was in her garden, so maybe she's picked something early.
Well,
like
it's kind of like,
quickly.
and it's kind of, well, sometimes you got to try it. I've got some early Pink Kush that should be pretty much close to that whole, hey man, there's no terpenes, but let's see, kind of that, because they were early girls and they were picked, 4 weeks ago.
Wayne,
I got a little strawberry plant growing about yay big that I want to put behind you in your plant, so I can't harvest it yet.
Oh yeah, we'll find a spot.
Right in the front window to start.
Oh yeah, totally. Totally. That's mine. I'll just strap it onto the car.
Let's see. Irene says that she spent the day cleaning some Girl Guides. I'm gonna say Girl Guides cookies and some cherry punch. It's very sticky, and I'm sure it is. Awesome. Now, Wayne, she's also chimed in here. But I'll just ask you right here while we're live on the show. But Irene has a show on Tuesdays, Green Irene's THC Talk Time, and she's gonna be going around the stores, head shops, cannabis stores, stuff like that, and talking to them. So she wants your details so that she can get a hold of you.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she wants to come visit the store. She wants to come visit the store.
Yeah, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
There you go, Irene. 17 Bridge Street.
45 minutes north of Belleville, 45 minutes from Peterborough, 45 minutes from Port Hope. Pretty much.
I also hear that they have your bongs and dongs.
Yeah, we can. We have bongs and dongs in one. So
I had to do it like a PSA right there, just for fun.
Yeah. A bong
and he's got it.
I love it, man. I think it's catchy and fun, and it totally is what you're doing, and that's refreshing. It's super transparent but funny. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's amazing. No matter how transparent I am, there's still people that have no clue what we do.
No. Well, we're gonna go to break, okay, and we're gonna get to that a question, Wayne, about the store and people and things like that. We'll just go to break now, and we'll come back and we'll get into that. So when we return, I'll continue my discussion with our guest, Craig McEachern, or Craig's here, as well as the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, Wayne Matheson. He's got the promo there up for the gig that they're going to have at the store, featuring the Acoustically Hip. We're live here on the Pace Radio Network's YouTube page and all that other stuff, and we'll see you on the other side. We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Who has huge buds? You do, if you shop at BMA Hydroponics. Attend one of BMA's educational seminars and learn the secrets of growing, harvesting, processing, and consuming quality cannabis and cannabis products. Learn how to make better extracts, edibles, and medicinal creams at prices you can afford. Visit BMA Hydroponics at 404 Maitland Drive, Belleville, or call 613-967-9888.
The only way to go. Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
PACE Radio is the People Advocating Cannabis Education Radio Network.
Legacy 420, we believe in being different.
Experience the difference of quality control.
Our labs provide tested formulations for all of our products.
Experience the difference in trust.
Our customers can trust that we are following up-to-date COVID precautions for their safety.
Experience the difference in accessibility.
We're open 7 days a week. Please visit our website, legacy420.com, or contact us for curbside pickup as well as nationwide mail order shipping.
Legacy 420 values overall wellness.
Come and experience the difference of Legacy 420.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch, yes, watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net. You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net. Hey, welcome back and thanks for tuning into the program. We are live on the Pace Radio Network's YouTube page or channel. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, many Facebook pages. And who knows where else we're coming from, but we're out there. We're out there. Tonight in the program, we're joined by my special guest, Keg McEachern of the Acoustically Hip and Wayne Matheson of the Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. And that's the reason they're here tonight is because the two of them here, I'm going to move myself out of the screen here. There we go. We got mixed around there at break time. That is because the two of them were getting together October the 15th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. You have a Customer Appreciation Day, correct, Wayne?
You betcha. Yeah, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and the Acoustically Hip are playing from 6 till 9, and there will be burgers, hot dogs, and cake served. The first 25 customers will receive a little gift thing. So, yeah, if you're in the area.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff.
There may be or may not be a dab rig, a Chills dab rig, 25th anniversary one set up.
Oh, it's a two. Oh, they're nice, man.
Yeah, set
It's
up.
so nice.
So I run it on an email. There may or may not be a volcano set up in the back room, and there may or may not be some free joints for people who come in and out of the store.
Who knows? Hey, well, and there's probably a few dongs, available. The store's open until 10, right?
25% off all the dongs you want.
See, that's just awesome. Come on, that's fun.
Yeah, keep that there. There we go. Camel for
There
shot.
it is. That's good. That's awesome, though. That's super fun. Come on.
There you go.
That's awesome. Oh yeah.
All right. Just so you know, Irene says she'll be there for an interview, and she's just
right on.
Cool.
Yeah, right on. That'd be awesome, Irene. It'd be good to see you. Yeah.
Schedule.
Why not? Super fun.
Yeah,
that's great.
And while she's in town, maybe she'll probably come through Alderville. Maybe she'll grab a couple stores there and do some interviews as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we had
I'll put them together for shows down the road. So,
and we had a great time at a couple spots at Alderville this year. We're playing the Norwood Fair this weekend on the Saturday. So go get your caramel corn on Saturday and then bring it the following Saturday to Campbellford Lifestyle Shop because you can get caramel corns, bongs, and dons. Come on! Trifecta! Candy-coated apples, bongs, and dons. Let's do it!
Now, Wayne, before the break, you had mentioned something along the line about, there's some people don't even know, what your store has in it or what it's doing. And I'm sure there's people who have, because of the products that you're carrying, that have concerns of going in the front door. Do you ever hear from people that wish you had a back door to go in?
Only a couple. Not too many have actually. Very very few have expressed that to me. One of them was a real estate agent in town. I think they were just trying to talk me into buying a different building.
Just put your dongs over here.
I don't. It's whether you come into my store or not is all kind of built up in your head, right? You go into the liquor store and you come out with a 60-pounder without questioning it. You go into the paw store, right. So it's just another store with another product, and we put it in a bag, and it's nobody knows what you're buying. We have a big variety of stuff, and we we're very discreet about what we do.
We could be coming in to pick up some candies.
What's that?
Munchies.
Munchies, yeah. So
grab some munchies.
We have cottage country candy here. We have 18 different candies to choose from. We have chips. We have pop. We have Gatorade. We got lots of different snacks. So you get the munchies. Yeah, we got them.
Yeah, incense as well. I think you said 150 different smells.
We just got over 50 scents of the hand dipped, hand rolled. They're very, very, very nice, high quality.
Does anyone still ask for Nag Champa?
We sell that stuff like we can't even keep it in stock.
It's still it is still like the cream of the crop, eh?
Like I've considered buying it by the palletful. That's how much we sell.
It's literally it's been like that for 20. Oh my God, man, 25 years, man. Longer, like 30 years here in North America. Finally, that's the only smell I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you can have every essential oil and whatever and infusers and all the other. Just give me a really mild Nag Champa in another room, and it's like, yeah, I'm chill.
Yeah.
Now, do you like the cones or the sticks?
Cones, man. Cones. Every time. Cones behind a fan. Like I used to always just open a window, put the cone, and then the fan. And it would be like, an air conditioner in the other end of the room, and then the whole place would just smell freaking awesome because it would just diffuse through the room, right?
Yeah.
It always smelled awesome. Yeah.
It always smells so good.
Yeah.
Always. That's a very popular scent, I guess you could call it.
It sure is.
Brand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Like I have a friend of mine that she burns incense quite often, and if I go into a store and I saw it available over the years, I grab some for her because yeah. So no, it's good stuff.
That's cool. That has an incredible longevity. Like that's a testament to how cool some of the stuff that, like, I mean, I'm an old school dude, right? So it's like now I just vape pen, right? But I mean, it's vape pen all day. It's like, give me a break. Perfect for me. I can medicate on the fly perfectly, have no questions, have no worries at all. And it's just like, that's what, and $2 a gram. Those are the only two things I asked for in life. And they showed up before my 50th birthday. You know what I mean? And then as time has transpired, though, it's like there's different subsets of this whole thing. And I'm not comfortable with, well, I'm not going to say how much of it, some of it. But in this time, I've discovered indigenous roots, and I've worked with indigenous communities how I have been chosen to do it. Like I thought I was going to do it in the cannabis world, but instead just performing music is enough, is the way, is my path. And it's just like, okay, cool. Cool, man. I'm down with all of this. Like,
Earlier you mentioned your 3 favorite songs from the hip.
Yeah.
Do they have a cannabis tune?
Well, Bob Cajun says it could have been the Willie Nelson.
Yeah. Okay. I just never thought of Bob Cajun as a cannabis tune. It's a great song. Like
it's my favorite. It is. Like lately, the 3 have been the 3, but the song I love performing is Bob Cajun. That song just resonated with me, and it never left.
Right.
So, and every time I get to sing that song, I feel like it's an honor, and it's like every one of them, really. Like, it was an honor before, but now it means more because when people pass away, we have a little piece of us that changes, right? Like we have an emotional connection to certain things. And the thing with Gord Downey is he was unabashedly Canadian. And he was also very compassionate about the story of Canada. And that included being compassionate to our Indigenous people. It was about injustices being righted. It was about important pieces of literature that people should know about. He was my favorite historian. And I get to sing. I get to sing his music every week.
Yeah.
And I get to sing his music every week. It's a blessing. I'm just so fortunate. And so that's why I raise money for Downey Wenjack Fund. And we just spent National Day of Reconciliation raising money for the Sage and Sunshine School. Because it's part of my culture. It's part of my heritage now. I didn't know that 3 years ago, but I knew now. So and now is like I was already acting before, but now I have to just be more. And but for me, being more has to be natural and has to be authentic. And it cannot be misinterpreted. It can't be.
Music.
It's real. It's our life, right?
Yeah, music's educational. It always tells us there's always a story behind it.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate to be a part of the whole thing.
Yeah,
and I'm not lost on that. That's why, like every time I have to open my mouth to sing or I play any instrument, it just has to be right. And
like I'm like Wayne. I don't sing either. So no. But in school, you know, we had the singing things, you know, choirs or singing class, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just lipped. I just moved my lips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. You know. Yeah, just move the lips. That's about it. You know, even yeah.
It's amazing though. And everyone has found their path, right? And we've all gone through the hills and valleys. I mean, Al, your health, my health. Wayne, you've had like immense setbacks over the course of your tenure, and now and again, I always bring it back to this, but it's still awesome. It's like now we get to work together in ways that we never saw. Like I never did, and it's just like that's a total blessing too. And we've just all stayed on our course, on our individual course, and we've always just been able to be seamless and transparent with one another. That's the secret now. It's just everyone listening to one another, being totally transparent, and just why not be better to one another?
I think it's fair to say that all three of us love what we do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait to wake up super early and do what I do, and I welcome it. And it's beautiful. It's that whole thing where it's like once upon a time it was explained to me. It's like, well, you can hover all you want, but every time you wake up, just put your feet on the ground and just steady your space in your mind, in every part of you. Go, all right, let's do something awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that I'm able to come to Campbellford and play some music for you, man. And we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have the neighborhood in.
Yes, I'm looking forward to
it. Super excited.
It's gonna be a great time.
We're gonna try to get your band image with the bongs and dongs and the shades and blades image. I'm gonna try to get them all right on the cake.
Oh man, that would be awesome. I'm gonna need that. I've got a few select friends that would really appreciate that photo.
You got cake?
Oh, there will be, yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm already there, but I'm there with bells on. Or do I have to have bongs and dongs on? I'm not sure what the dress code is.
There is no dress code.
All right, perfect.
You're in the front window though, so
I am. Well, I mean, it's not dongs, bongs, and thongs.
Well,
so I feel jeans and a t-shirt is going to be just.
We know you won't forget the one, so make sure you remember your bong, okay?
I've got the new Sherlock I'm enjoying quite a bit. So
yeah,
I'm sure. Like I've got the vape pen for certain instances, but it's the Sherlock for being underneath the stars at the end of the night and going, hey, thank you.
Yeah.
That's the way for me.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. Like I know here where I'm located now, out in the country. I just look up when I'm out on the rear deck, and it's just stars everywhere. The moon. I don't know if you saw some of the pictures I've been posting of the sunsets.
You sent me the one that was just brilliant red, and the bud had like a super dark green hue, like a deep forest green hue, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, it's harvest season, isn't it? I'm like, oh gosh, I got to go out to the greenhouse, and everything was just beautiful.
Yeah. Tonight I got a picture of the top during the sunset with the top of a bud in the sunset silhouetted, and in the background behind the bud you can see a deer the sunset.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah. It's really nice. So
I like the one that you had showed me where it was like yellow, orange, red, blue, purple. And it was all cascading sky in behind the bud. I'm like, well, that's a rainbow of happy budness. It's like the whole rainbow's there, so there's no pot of gold. The bud's the pot of gold. There you go.
Exactly. There we go. I just moved this off, push to the bottom. See if that enlarges the the sign there a little bit more, the information, without cutting it off. Yeah.
Come on down to Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. This coming October 15th. That's a Saturday.
Correct.
Super
Saturday.
fun.
Come in 6 o'clock. So it's not as if you have to be up all night to be able
But
to
I'm
come.
certain the sale is all day long.
The sale,
Correct.
25% off store-wide is all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can come in.
I mean, if there's people here at 10, we won't kick you out.
No.
There you go.
Oh, hey, I can remember one time when I was doing the Pace radio show from the front window that Craig's going to be performing at.
Yeah.
And we would be there until 9:30, 10 o'clock, and the store closed at 8. But Wayne would stay open, and people would come in. I'm closing up the show at 9:30, and people were still coming in the door.
We closed at 6 o'clock tonight, but we're still open right now. I'm sitting here in the store right now.
Yeah.
and that's how we do. I love that stuff though. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to coming to Campbellford, man. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're super excited.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good show.
I've never seen you perform live, Craig. I've heard you sing and stuff like that, just through Music of Mary Jane. But I've never gone to see you live perform live.
It's a natural element. I get a little bit out of my head, but I mean, it's more along the lines of I like to be immersed in what I'm playing, and I don't know. It's been a great year.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you is, I mean, as far as careers go, I'm pretty thankful for where this all played out, because my abilities are finally recognized, and I think it's more along the lines of sometimes you got to beat a drum loud.
Mm-hmm.
You beat it for a while.
Yeah,
you got kind of a rhythm. People start to follow, and you start to understand. But it's more like just being forthright and being ethical about things. And I've been able to do that my whole life, and now I can do it in music and at work. So.
Yeah.
Let's hang out. Let's go.
That's right, exactly. And no one's going to be complaining about the music because Wayne lives upstairs, so nobody upstairs will be complaining about that. And the business
I haven't heard
close beside him, right?
I have not heard one soul complain about hearing the Tragically Hip for free. Not one. And I've done it for thousands and thousands and thousands of people. I haven't heard of one.
No.
Exactly. I can't imagine.
No, I think you'd be on the wrong side of history, especially if it sounds good. And that's the thing. I pride myself on being a professional.
So, will you be doing requests a Saturday night?
Well, I betcha that if you can think of the song, it's already there and it's already being played, because our set list, we've got about 3 or 4 different ones, and we kind of mess around with them a little bit. But all in all, we have performed over 62 different Tragically Hip songs during the course of our existence, right?
Wow. That's a lot of songs.
It's a lot of songs. And we love them. It's an honor, right? We're pretty fortunate. So, doing them a disservice isn't an option. So being pro is. And so a lot of times what we like to do is kind of honor a set list, because then we have some fluidity. But it depends on the situation, right? So, we can probably kind of play fast and loose and take some off the cuff kind of hey, would you mind playing this? Because it's a store, you don't have to stick to a set list. It's not like playing a festival where people are coming to watch your entire set.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
This is more intimate.
Super chill. It's going to be some ebb and flow, which makes it fun. And that means that if somebody wants to hear, gift shop, and then half hour later someone else wants to hear it, there's nothing preventing us from playing it.
Exactly.
You know, why not?
Exactly.
You want to hear it? We play it like amazing. Let me do that for you. That would be super awesome, right? So, I mean, that I love. I love the intimacy and the give and take of that. And also, well, I mean, it's Wayne, man. We've known each
That's
other
right.
for over a
That's right.
decade. Give me a break. Let's go. Let's have a good time. You know, be pro. Be pro. Have a good time. Smoke a J. No problemo, man.
No problem. That's right. Okay, guys. We're down to about our last 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. So let's do the shout out at this time. Craig, let everybody know where you can find the acoustically hip music.
The Acoustically Hip on YouTube. The Acoustically Hip.wordpress.com. You can also find us Facebook, The Acoustically Hip, The Acoustically Hip on Instagram, but we would prefer you just sending us an email, theacoustichip@gmail.com, and we'll chat, and then we'll actually have a phone call, and we'll
phone call.
Yeah, I use the phone. We like to talk. We like to do like actual people things. So because we're real people performing amazing Tragically Hip covers and more. So give us a call. We're really easy to work with. We'll go play on your deck in the middle of Bob Cajun, or we'll play in your like living room for a birthday party. Like, as long as we're great at it, you deserve to get a good band. And that's what we do.
Right, exactly. Okay, Wayne, we got about 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
You got that to do your shout out.
All right. So Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, obviously, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford. Give us a call, 705-653-0420, 0420.
What was that phone number?
653-0420. And so we're going to be building a website soon, so watch for it coming up, bongsandongs.biz. We're going to go country wide with it and try to expand out on that. And also, if you are in the Ontario area and you're looking to build a prefab outdoor building, maybe for your grower or garage or somewhere to keep a car or whatever, I'm also in the prefab outdoor building business. So you can talk to me about that at 705-991-0710, which upside down backwards is oil. 0710.
All right.
So 0420, 0710, they both get me, and
Maybe you're closed on July 10th. I don't know. Are you open on July 10th or?
Oh yeah, July 10th is always a sale day.
I had a feeling. See?
Yeah, 710. Yeah.
That was a roundabout plug, ladies and germs. Like I knew what I was talking about right there. You see?
Yes, exactly. All right. I'm just trying to work the time out right here. We're just down to about the last minute or two. Let's see, Craig. In a minute or two, you think you can answer a quick question on what got you to start playing music?
What got me to start playing music? Okay, so when I was 3 years old, I heard Buddy Holly, and somebody had dropped off a ukulele at my house, and I just started jumping around to Buddy Holly and strumming ukulele, and by I don't know how long it took, but I started just playing songs on ukulele. Like I would just hear them on the radio and start.
All right. A ukulele got you going.
The ukulele got me going.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. I got to wrap things up. I remind everybody, thanks to our sponsors, Legacy 420, BMAHydroponics.com, Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, and Dr. Buck's Cannabis B&B. Check them out. The doobie in. Other than that, we'll see you all next week. Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Craig. And we'll talk to you soon.
Take her easy, dude.